Picture this, standing in front of an open window, the night sky above. As you grasp the sides of the window, you feel the metal dig into your hands. You feel your heart beating out of your chest, tears rolling down your face. Too ashamed to look up, all you can seem to do is look down. 10 stories to the pavement below, and asking yourself if this is it. If tonight's the night you take your life. If that's the only way out of the despair that you're experiencing at that moment. That was me, October 16th, 2016. I had received a tax bill for $16,631 that at the time might as well have been $16 million. I was broke. I had no job. I saw no way out of it. I had been beaten up to that point. And as I stared out that window down to the pavement, I had to ask myself, is this it? Is this the rest of my story? Is it going to end right there? And as I contemplated this, I felt something just sort of push me back into the room. And without knowing how, I found myself in front of a mirror, looking into my own two eyes, looking deep into my own soul, and having what I call my man in the mirror moment, where I had to really ask myself some really difficult questions. I didn't realize it at that moment, but that would be the catalyst for a 4-step system that I would later create and turn my life around. You see, I'd been a television host in Hollywood for years. I had my own talk show called Hollywood Stay Live on Fox. I was in all of your homes and your TV screens 5 days a week live, smiling and talking about the Kardashians and the Kardashians and the Kardashians. That's what I did until I didn't, until I lost my job. I was fired. I was replaced, and I was told that I was all icing and no cake. I'm all cake. I love cake. I'm a cake kind of guy. That hurt. They were basically telling me I was shallow and unintelligent. That's how it felt. Around that same time, my baby sister, my best friend in the world, my ride or die, we'd moved to Los Angeles together. We lived together for 6 years. We found our way back to faith together. And then she took me out for lunch on my birthday one day. And at the end of that lunch, she told me that she believed that Christ wants me to pray the gay away. I'd never heard that from her in my entire life. It gutted me. And then came the moment, the window. $16,631. That was the price tag I'd put on my soul that night. Oddly enough, also the price of a base model Kia Soul. No joke. Google it. That's how much I thought my actual soul was worth. Not my proudest moment. But I realized in that moment I had to get moving again. I had to figure out a way to change my story, to rewrite my story. Which brings me to step 1 of my 4-step process, the M.O.V.E system. I had already, like I said, I experienced my man in the mirror moment. I had to ask myself some really, really tough questions and be prepared for answers that I'd not been prepared for up to that point. What part did I play in this tax bill? I had no idea up until the 1 year I really made money, the difference between 1099 and W-2 income. I was like, oh, 1099, I get to take more home. That's awesome. No. Uncle Sam gets that eventually. I didn't know that. I know now, and I'll never make the mistake again. From there, I started to get some answers, and once I accepted those answers, I moved on to step 2. Own your stuff. I had to own my part in all of these things that had led to that rock bottom moment in front of that window. I had to own the fact that I was not good with my finances, that tax bill came for a reason. I had to take ownership of that. Now, while I didn't have to take ownership of the fact that my sister now believed this thing about me and my sexuality, I did have to take ownership of the fact that I allowed it to impact me for 2 years. I cried myself to sleep too many nights over that. That may be her truth, but I know it's been placed in my heart. I know that I was created with a purpose for a purpose, and that was not it. I also had to take ownership of the fact that I lost a job. It happens. But I allowed that to impact me far too long. I believed the narrative that was placed on me, that I was all icing and no cake, even though it wasn't true. Once I owned those new truths, and I took those in and I held them close to me, I was able to move on to step 3, V, visualize. As a young boy growing up in Ohio, I'd always dreamed of moving to Hollywood and making it big. And at age 34, I did that. I had my own show on a major network. That's crazy. And I hated every minute of it. I did not enjoy it. That was hard. It's even harder to get fired from something you don't have the courage to walk away from. So now I need to visualize a new dream for my life, right? Not my parents' dream for me, not my friend's dream for me, not my agent or my manager's dream. My dream. I had to look deep into my soul and find my purpose, that thing that I needed to tether myself to so that no matter what, when another tax bill may come or some rough times or I might lose a job, something comes my way, I'm tethered to something stronger to myself, a purpose. And as long as I can just keep pulling myself a little bit closer every day, I'm going to get closer to my purpose because I'm now tethered, because I have the vision. I believe firmly that if there is a thought in your head, a vision in your head, it is possible in real life or it would not exist. That is how we were created. I know my vision. Which takes me to step 4, evolve, which is what I'm doing right now, standing in front of all of you. I've never told this story publicly. My boyfriend knows, my mom knows. On social media, on TV, on red carpets, interviewing the biggest celebrities in the world, I look like this thing. And I'm so much more. There's a lot of cake in here. And I had to evolve to the point I am now, to have the courage to share that, to be on a stage, to write a book, to do the things I've done recently. And none of this would have happened without that rock bottom moment over here. Without my moment here in the window, I never would have gotten to my man in the mirror moment. I never would have owned my stuff. I never would have been able to visualize the life of my dreams. And I never would have evolved into the man that's standing here right now. And that has been the most beautiful journey and the greatest blessing I ever could have asked for. You got to get moving. We've all got to get moving, whether it's spiritually, physically, emotionally, relationally. We've all got to move. So I just have to ask you all, are you ready to move?